What is up, guys? Mike Gabby from the video today, and we are back with another diorama dissection. If you haven't seen the series before, basically what I do is I go through a set or a minifigure series or something like that, and I talk about how good it will be for dioramas. So it's not like a super in detail review like you would get on Demarcation Media, but it's just my opinion on how good a set is for dioramas. And for today, we have Halo Heroes Series 18, one that shocked me. Today I got a box. I ordered an entire set from Entertainment Earth, and yeah, I'm really excited about it, so let's get into it. Alright, guys, and here are the figures in, out of their package. And it is Lieutenant Kinsano, it is the Flood, it is the Elite Honor Guard, it is Atriox, and it is the Spartan Mark VII, pardon. I had to get a little refresher on my Roman numerals. But yeah, so now I'm going to start going individually, but this is just an intro, and there's other stuff in the background. This is a diorama. I just like to have that in the background when I do a diorama dissection, so let's go. So let's start out with Kinsano. I think that this is typically considered the worst figure in this set, but I still don't think it's bad at all. Like, it looks really good, like the paint job, and I really want to go over the flamethrower really quickly. This is one of my favorite weapons. I just love the look of it. But going back to Kinsano, like, it's a very well detailed figure. Especially you have these like blue and red lines that look really nice. The shoulder pauldrons are painted. There's sort of this like strange back piece that I'm not really familiar with on the her upper part of her torso. The other armor, or the other shoulder pauldron, and then the face paint. I think it just looks really good. I mean, as far as dioramability goes though, it's kind of I would say it's relatively limited, just because Kinsano isn't like a super well-known character, and while if you want to have her in a diorama, which I feel like would be pretty niche, it's cool to be able to have her, but I feel like it's limited as far as like practicality goes. But if you do have her in a diorama, she will look good and she will stand out, and I think that there is like there's something to be said about that. So as far as her individual diorama ability goes, I will go for each individual figure and then do for the entire set. I would say hers is like a 4, yeah, probably a 4. It looks good, but there's not too much of a reason to actually have it in a diorama, at least in my opinion. Of course, these are all opinions. Now, as you can kind of see, I'm working my way up from least to best, in my opinion. But here is the Spartan Mark VII. I think this figure looks good. I love Christmas. I think most people do. So I was excited to see a Christmas-themed Spartan, even though I know it's not exactly that. But it looks good. Like, it's so bad for dioramas, I think, just because it's not really like, I mean, you wouldn't have this figure in a diorama series. Maybe if you're doing like a battle of Spartans against Spartans, like a multiplayer thing, that could be cool. But it's just not really that practical. But the paint detailing, it's a shame to say that, because the paint detailing looks so good. So if you are someone who just collects figures because you like the look of them, I don't see how you could go wrong with this figure. I mean, look at the, I think that the like painted visor is so cool. There's so many little red details inside the armor. Like, look at that. Look at how just like well that is painted. The back is not quite as extravagant. It really looks like just each individual piece taken apart. But I mean, you can't complain too much when the front looks this good. Even the top is painted, where there's this little white spot on the top. And yeah, I think that it looks great. But as far as dioramability goes, like I'm saying, it's relatively limited. Oh, really quick, there's a weapon. Nothing too crazy, just like painted Christmas colors. But dioramability, unless you're making a Christmas diorama, I don't see how this guy fits in. Or maybe you want to make him your stick fig. I mean, if you enjoy that, that's awesome. But I'm going to have to give him a pretty low rating. I think probably a 2 as far as like dioramability goes. But as far as just looks go, I think he looks really good. Now we're getting into the upper tier figures, in my opinion. You know, the upper half, I guess, of the top 5, of the only 5 figures. And I think that this Atriox looks so much better than the last one. I had the old one. I just think that the way they made him like a little bit more standout, the face looks a little bit better to me. Yeah, it just looks better. And I also love these new stands. I think they look really good. So that, and then there's detailing. The thing is, and everyone knows I hate this, it's so great to have Atriox in a minifigure form re-release because a lot of people weren't collecting back, I guess it was probably 2017, 2016, I'm not exactly sure. But it is important for people to be able to have Atriox, considering he's the new main villain in the series. So to have him in the diorama, like being in a diorama is amazing. I think that's great for people. So that gives a lot of points. However, he is tiny. Look at him compared to... Sorry, I just gotta grab this real quick. That's him compared to a jackal. Has anyone played the game and seen Atriox's size compared to other brutes? Compared to the elites? Compared to anything? And now that's him compared to a jackal, and he is like completely towered over. Wow, my anger is getting to me. I was gonna give this figure a good rating, and then it started getting to me. I think I'm gonna have to give him a 2 out of 10. I feel bad, but the brutes deserve it. Almost any named brute deserves this. I'm sorry. All right, next we have 2 figures that I am so excited about. First off, we'll go with the Sangheli Honor Guard. What an amazing figure. I think that it looks so good. I'm glad that they did a slightly different mold than the original one that was released in, what was it, Series 3? Yes, Series 3 of the Halo Hero series. Wow, I cannot believe that was that far back. Probably, gosh, what was that, 2016, maybe? Wow, well, I have those figures, and it is nice that they re-released it, because I want people to have it be accessible, but I'm glad they changed it up just a little bit so people who have the old one have like a... like they have something that they can be proud of still and be like, oh, I still had Series 3. I think that's still retains the collectability of the old one. I think that's really, really awesome. The Pike is an amazing piece. I think everyone really likes the Honor Guard Pike. Let me get this. Yeah, it's just a nice piece. They made it look nice. The gold really shimmers nicely. It's a good look. And then just like the armor, I'm just gonna put this down. There's just like these little gold flakes. I kind of do wish that they made it a little darker so that the contrast between the gold and I wish it was a black, so that would just make it stand out a little more, but the gold and gray still looks good. And that goes for the shoulder pauldrons as well as the leg pieces. It looks good on the top though. It still manages to stand out a pretty good bit, probably because they're bigger pieces. And then the dark skin I think looks nice on it. It makes it kind of looks more sleek in a weird way, I guess. But it looks really good. I'm very, very happy with the figure. And what you can use this figure for, I think, is really, really cool. You can have it guarding prophets. You can have it, you know, in a special ship. You can have it as a protector of a leader in your diorama series. Like, I feel like the potential is so vast with this figure, and I cannot believe it took them this long to re-release it. I think that this is a hit. Like, for me, this is one of the best figures they've released in a while. I hope that they come up with a new version, maybe a blue or something, or maybe purple. I think that would be really cool. Or, yeah, just some black. I think that would be cool too. Just some unique color schemes, because even though this figure does look good, I feel like there's so much more potential, and I'm really excited for that. But I think this figure is hard to fault. I do think it looks slightly less good than the last one, but that's a hard standard to set. So I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. I don't think it's quite at a 9. It's not a 10 for me, but it has so much usability in dioramas. So I definitely want, I want to stress that it's an amazing figure. So if you can get it, I know it's tough right now, get it. Now, the moment that I think a lot of people have been waiting for, and the figure that I had been waiting for and the most excited about for a while now, was the human combat form. I think this thing is... when I first saw it, I wasn't sure about it, but now getting it in person, and when you have a few of them, they just like... Oh, they just look so good. Like, in dioramas, they're scary. Like, look at those bulging eyes. Sorry, I might be a little too close. Sorry, I don't have the macro lens like Simon. But look at that bulging eyes. It looks threatening. And that, I think, is the most important thing about the Flood. Like, I put this in a running pose. So imagine you have a diorama and you have your Spartan or your Marines running away from this. Maybe even if you have civilian figures, like I do over there, running away from it. Just like bleeds with new potential, especially considering we haven't had Flood figures in so long. And I knew we got the Elite Flood figures a while back, but you want to have a mix, right? Like, you don't want it to just be one type. You want to be able to play with a bunch of different types of things. So I hope they do with different types of Marines, different armor types. I think that would be really, really cool. I think that they just have really hit good potential with this. And I cannot wait for these to come in more blind bags, more like sets, and yeah, I'm just so excited. I think that this is a 10 out of 10. I don't have any complaints. Like, just like the way they did it. I do want to go into a little bit more detail. They have this big red piece, so it kind of distracts from any errors there might be, which there aren't any. But look at this, just like breaking armor. I think that looks so good. The Flood combat form that shows the colors just right to where it looks gross. And look at the back, that's disgusting. Like, it looks like rotted human flesh. So I'm very happy with it. I like the posability of the hands, and I like that it's just an amazing figure. For me, this is a 10 out of 10. They nailed it, in my opinion. So actually, let me know what you guys think below the Flood figure, because I know that it is controversial, so let me know. So to close out the video, I wanted to bring them all back together and just kind of discuss the series as a whole. Overall, I think with the Hero series, just because it's so peculiar, it's so particular with what they do with the series, they have to have standout figures, so a lot of those figures can't really be in dioramas. They have to have a crazy looking Spartan, which I like personally, because I do mostly do dioramas, but I also like looking at random figures. I think that they just got the balance right. They had figures who, even though they aren't good for dioramas, I don't want to take away completely from that, because it is a Halo Hero series, but they also had things that fit into dioramas perfectly and are amazing fits, like the Flood and the Elite Honor Guard. And I think that Atriox, even though I am mad at him for being a tiny little brute baby boy, I am happy that he exists for people who didn't have him before. As much as it pains me to see it with his little tiny self. But overall, I think that they just nailed it. I think this, as far as a Halo Hero series goes for diorama ability, I think it's an 8 out of 10. I know that the math doesn't add up as far as if you averaged them together, that would not be your median or your mean. Gosh, I need to tighten up on my math skills. But I think it's an 8.5 out of 10. It's just amazing. And that actually kind of brings me to the point, it's such a shame that this is so hard to get. I had to wait about 4 months. I think I ordered this from Entertainment Earth so long ago, and I got it today, and they didn't even send me a shipment notification. I just had it in my mailbox, and I was like, how is this possible? I didn't even recognize what it could possibly be. So it's a shame that we are struggling, but I have to say, Mega's making the best sets it's ever made. I've been collecting since 2013, I want to say, maybe 2015, between that time period, and they've never done better. That Flood figure is better than any other Flood figure they've ever done. The Honor Guard is amazing. The paint jobs and the paint applications are better than they've ever done before. And so I think, this is a little bit of copium, I guess, if they're able to weather the storm and make it past the Halo being on the downturn, and then if Halo recovers again and they make it there, this is going to be one of the best toy manufacturers and best minifigure scale and the best building creation companies that there is. So I have a lot of hope. It stinks that it's so hard right now. The community is facing something so difficult, but I'm excited for what can happen if Halo recovers, because then they'll get more budgets. They'll be able to create more unique things, and I have hope. It's tough right now, but I have a lot of hope. So yeah, let me know what you guys think below of the set, of the if you are hopeful, if you're not hopeful, I want to know. And so please like and subscribe as well. I put a lot of work in these videos, and so I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.